Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Synthwave Hangout, episode 48. As always, I'm Dave, also known as Memory Design.
And I am Woren from Windows, from Dominic.
And, you said something to me earlier today that I didn't really click until you said it, but episode 52 is coming up soon, which is 1 year.
Yep. Yeah,
that's madness to me.
Yep.
That's madness. So I appreciate everybody being here. Normally we'd go on for a little bit longer, but we have a very special guest today that I'd love to introduce. That I'm just thrilled that he's willing to come hang out and deal with us for the next couple hours. So if everyone could welcome Michael from Miami Nights 1984. How you doing?
What's up? I'm bringing it back, boys. I'm bringing it back.
Bringing it back.
All right.
What's
that can be most of the show. We can just do that back and forth.
Yeah, that's got to be the whole thing. Right. I'm like. So, what kind of synths are you using here? It's like, in the background.
Right. That's the only thing he says the entire time.
Right. People
well,
are
this
like,
is fun. You know,
I expected him to be much different than this. Right.
Everyone bear with me. It's really early where I am. It's a reasonable time for these gents, but
yeah,
that's right.
That's the first thing I said to Michael when we hopped on, that I appreciate you because this is a hard ask for anyone on the West Coast, especially now. We used to do this on Tuesdays, but especially now on Saturdays, it's like, hey, you want to wake up really early and do a 2-hour show?
It's okay. We woke up and we started morning drinking. So.
Right. Yeah. We've all been day drinking the whole
we'll
day.
Make it through.
Hence the what's up.
Right. Exactly. Right. So again, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you working it out. I know we had a few hiccups along the way and everything, but I'm glad you're here. I'm
happy to be here with you lovely lads.
Yes, thank you. We appreciate that very much.
You're welcome.
Shout-outs
to Craig. Shout-outs to Dan.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know anyone else in the chat, but shout-outs to all of you lovely people. Thank you for joining us.
This is the part now where I just surprise Dom that I have to go and hand the show over to him.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Nobody will regret that.
Right. You just hear a huge scroll unroll, and you're like, give me 1 second. I have to get my glasses. Right. Right, exactly. So, like I was saying when we were talking about this before, there's no real structure to anything on the show, but I can't believe anybody wouldn't know this, but we always kind of ask the guest when they come on to describe like their project or who they are as an artist. And so perhaps there's somebody waking up from a 13-year coma or something right now and, tuning into this show for the first time. But could you describe the Miami Nights project and what it's about to the listeners?
So I do sculpting of Greek statues and spray paint them neon colors. And you can find a lot of my work. I do like street art and stuff like that.
Neonstatue.com.
One thing I heard you invented that, though, the Greek statue thing, in the scene. So I appreciate that very much.
You're welcome. I invented everything in the scene.
Right. You've made everything.
You guys like, I invented.
Right.
Neon lights, invented those.
Right.
Yep.
Synthesizers, invented those too.
I can't believe nobody used the Juno until you got on the scene too. That was incredible.
Right? Yeah.
That's what's wild about it is that I remember the first time I saw you, I was like, man, I wish I had a synthesizer.
Right.
I've been just.
Do you now?
Do
you now?
I do
or
now.
Are you one of those VST guys? Huh?
Oh,
I do now. I do both.
Okay.
I do both.
Good.
I'm a poor. I should probably let everybody know I'm a poor.
I'm a poor.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm a poor, so I can't afford the nice fancy synths.
Oh man, you're
a synthwave artist.
I thought we both agreed that our chairs are both working CS80s. I thought that's what our whole theme was. Yeah. Very uncomfortable, but high street cred.
We do the show from a dumpster. I don't know if you know this.
Right. Well, it feels like that sometimes. But
the whole show is inside the dumpster studio.
But I totally interrupted you with my awful Greek statue joke. So go on. What you were saying, though, you were probably getting into like what you were really going to say about the Miami Nights project.
Yeah. So I guess you could say I'm one of the OG synthwave guys. Been doing it since 2009, and I mean, started off as ActRaiser and then shifted things over to a bit of a lighter vibe with the Miami Nights thing, and been going for a long time.
Right,
I'm your elder.
Right.
Okay?
Let me just
Don't
make
forget
this.
it.
Let me make this
I don't
very
wanna cut you
clear
off.
to everyone. Right. Right. You just take
I was gonna
over,
say-
and you're like, Dominic, you may speak now.
Right, I know, right? I was gonna say when he said OG, I was gonna be like, it means old guy.
Oh, right.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
Right. It does now. Yeah, no, it reminds me of something I run into frequently, and we touched about this. We touched on this a little bit yesterday. There's a lot of people like that have come into the scene, newer people, and they somehow have missed or haven't really gotten into some of these older artists that really got the genre going. And there's been some artists that, I mean, Dom freely admits this, that there's some artists that he's never heard of, but like I'll bring up your name or like some OG person like Future Cop or something like that, and they'll be like, I've never heard of this person. Then I'll like send the music to them, and they'll be like, oh my god, this is really great. So for me, being a fan from back in the day and then getting into it myself, I kind of naively came in assuming everybody was like this, but people miss stuff, I guess.
Oh, well, totally. And I mean, it's funny because I've been in other interviews and stuff like that and talking about the history about it and stuff like that. I guess like some people in the chat might not know who I am and they're arguing the history with me. And it's
Right.
like, dude, I was actually there.
Right. Right. They're like,
was here,
yeah.
bro.
I mean, there's a lot of great new acts. So, and there's so many synthwave artists, so many synthwavers, so many pores out there.
So many pores. That's what
It's
I'm
hard to
saying.
keep track
There's
of
so many
everyone.
pores.
Dude,
But the
I
main
do.
thing is, always remember, Laserhawk and I are your elders.
Right.
So
Right.
pay
That's right.
respect. That's
Right.
Yes.
And he
Yeah,
just-
you're like the old chieftains. You know what I mean? Inside the village.
Right.
Well, we haven't
right.
got to the part yet where you're telling that everybody must approve everything through you guys. So everything
It's
must
true.
be sent
Yeah.
to.
We are the gatekeepers.
Wait, you guys didn't know that? I send him all my tracks for approval
Right.
for.
Right. That's
Number
why none of
three,
them have
man.
come out yet. Right. They're all
Yeah,
like
Number three's
right,
a hot
yeah.
track.
Yeah, he keeps denying them.
Right. You just keep getting this message back for years that says "Keep grinding, brother," or something like that.
Right. Or he
We're
sends
all
me the
about the
Bugs
grind
Bunny
culture.
thing, and it's like, no.
Right. It's just the Bugs Bunny no meme every time. You're like, damn it. Maybe next time.
One day I'll make him happy.
Right. Oh my god. All right. Yeah, it's already I warned you, it's already off the rails immediately when we start.
That's how we like it.
So-
That's how we like
Yeah.
it.
I prefer it this way. I prefer, like, off the cuff, having fun stuff.
Yeah, for sure. We could get into a real stuffy interview though if you ever get bored with this. So
I mean, we can talk about grass, man. If you really want, we can talk about grass.
right,
I'm all
right,
about Tetra Paks lately, boys. Capri Sun.
right. Yeah, right. Have you heard of Capri Sun, right, or something like that? That's what you need to get into.
Does anybody remember the God, what was the best flavor? I think it was called
Called
it
what?
wasn't the Octo
Oh,
Cooler.
that was good.
Because the
That was
Octo
good.
Cooler was
Yeah,
good,
that
but it was Pacific Cooler, maybe? I forget which one it was.
Man,
They all taste great when you turn them into prison wine, boys.
right.
That's right.
I swear to
That's
God.
what us pores do.
That's right.
I swear to God that there's drinks like that we had as kids and even now where the flavor is all the same and it's just a psychological trick. Like you can put like strawberry or orange on the label, right? But it's literally all the same flavor. This is my theory.
I knew a kid when we were younger that claimed that he could taste the difference between Fruit Loops. And we for like hours argued with this kid about like there's no way all the Fruit Loops taste the same. He's like, I could tell the difference. So we literally blindfolded this kid, and then we're like giving him the same color over and over.
Right. This is where Michael pops in, and he's like, "I was that kid. Oh my God, how are you?"
Definitely.
Why'd you guys do that to me?
Right.
I will say Fruit Loops is definitely an S tier cereal.
Right.
That's
Oh,
right.
for sure.
People in the chat, you can fight me on it all you want. I'm right. It's the synthwave of cereal, okay?
It is.
Oh, there we go. It's been said now.
about-
Everybody must.
What about
everybody
the,
must
Fruit
go
Loops?
forth.
The Fruit Loops with marshmallows is pretty good too, by the way. My kids
Sacrilege.
Oh my
Sacrilege.
God.
I thought the same thing. Hey, listen, I thought the same thing until I made a bowl of it one late night, and I was like, "This is actually pretty good."
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think this is where Michael and I tell you that he's the new co-host, and I think that you're. He's like,
it was bound to happen. That's fine.
Like,
hey, if there's anybody who could replace me, it would be Michael.
He's like, you know what I want to do? I want to get up really early every Saturday and just do this every week.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. He's like, this whole music thing is really getting boring. I'd rather just get on and talk for a long time every Saturday.
Spice it up.
Yeah, let's switch it up here.
Yeah, Craig is probably real excited. We're already talking about cereals, by the way.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah. Big shout out to Craig Packman, by the way. I've yet to meet an artist, big or small, that hasn't said the nicest stuff about Craig. So I always like to try to point that out. I mean, he's
a gem. He's a gem.
Amazing person.
Yeah. I love Craig.
So one thing that I always do, and I apologize for this often, is that I miss everybody coming into the show the second I start talking. Like we were talking about before, if I'm tracking the chat, I have no idea what we're talking about. You know what I mean? Like you could be telling me some huge revelation and I'd be like, oh, you know, like I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I have to look away myself because otherwise I'll get distracted very easily.
Yeah, it's difficult. Sorry,
I'm also like, it's like, oh, a butterfly, and then I'm like, I'm gone, you know?
Right. That's the way it works. So we got about 5 minutes before we got to move on to the next block. We should talk about something relevant, I think, to Miami Nights. Although we do have a whole show, but I just want to say the new album is absolutely excellent. I know a little bit about how it was made. This kind of I don't know. Would you describe it as like an office wave vibe or more of a chill wave? How would you describe it?
Yeah. Office wave, a little business wavy, some chill wave elements. Like I said in the write-up for it, I really wanted to find something kind of like in between synthwave and vaporwave.
Yeah.
And so, I just kind of fell into this flow state one night writing this. I think like the first track I wrote was City Life.
Yeah,
and I was kind of like, oh, okay, I'm kind of vibing with this, and then
that's my favorite track on the album, by the way. Just saying.
Thank you. And then Skylines. I'd say the combination of those kind of set the theme for the rest of the album.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of had the idea to run it through my Porta Studio, and it's just high speed cassette and slow everything down slightly.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of gave it that like little bit of extra oomph in some of the tracks. I was really vibing with it, and I was like, I don't know how the fans are gonna dig this, but I'm with it, and let's see what happens. Because initially, I was really going to like bunker down and start writing the next kind of follow-up album to Sentimental.
Yeah,
and
it's important to like what you do. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
You have to love it first. And if we're going to talk about favorite tracks, mine's Terminal Lounging, by the way, in case you didn't notice from the promos.
Right. Awesome. No, it's been cool to see like everyone's really varied with what track they like the best, which is always cool to me because I'm always thinking, there's going to be a dominant track. And usually my favorite track, like we talked about before, is the least popular. But it seems for once my favorite track is one of the most popular tracks, which is Golden Hour.
Oh, yeah. Excellent track.
It was just something like with that one specifically, with the after processing it in the high-speed tape, the drums just really hit hard on it.
Yeah.
and it was hard to get that vibe on the other tracks, but yeah, the response from the fans has been really solid, which is awesome to me because it's like, okay, cool. Like Gunblaze Assault had a good response too, but I wasn't expecting it to do nearly as well as it did. And then kind of same thing with this. This album's been really successful for me.
Yep.
Which is awesome because it shows like, okay, I can actually have a bit of fun making stuff I enjoy, and of course the fans are going to be as lovely as possible.
One thing I can say about all your stuff is that I wouldn't say it's a signature sound, but I think you have some sort of like you've hit the mark on making like good choices when you do songs, right? Like the soloing and the chord choices and everything like that. So I when I heard this album, I could tell like you made it. right? And this is where you tell me you didn't make it and this is all a joke, right? Or something like that.
It's all AI.
It's all AI.
I heard it's
all
really
AI.
cool to use AI these days. So.
Right. You've heard of this new thing. But when
People, this is comedy, by the way. There's no AI.
this is the
Comedy.
only
Crucify me for this.
This is the
These are
only
the
clip.
jokes.
Right. This is the only clip they take from the whole show.
Totally. Yeah.
Right, yeah. It's like, these are the jokes, kids.
When Dan each just told me about the tape thing that you were doing, and I was like, oh my god, I wish I thought about doing that. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
the
you can
idea.
steal the idea now. I had a bunch of people messaging me afterwards, like, "What were you using? What were you using?" And so I'm sure it's going to become a popular thing now. So
Right.
get ready.
You send them a payment request from PayPal, right? As your response.
Yeah, right.
I
$10,000.
can't
should
use
have
this
known
sound
everyone
without
copied
paying
me
Michael
using the
first.
synthesizer.
Right.
Right.
No, it would be so funny if you just
Look
recommended.
at them! Look at them choosing noises and pressing
Yeah.
keys.
Right. That'd be funny if you sent back some like really bad free VST and you're like, this is it, boys. You know,
Right. The crappiest VSD. You could
Like
just
some
find.
VST 2
This
from
the
like
secret to the
2003.
sauce. The secret to the sauce. It's the bay leaf. Okay.
The bay leaf.
Oh man!
All right, you better
No,
have a
most
song.
people don't know that the bay leaf is the reason why tomato sauce is so good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the real secret. Let's face it, a little bit of sugar.
Right.
Well, you.
Sure. Yeah, you got to cut it with a little bit of sugar.
And now we've
Yeah.
decided that you got to do like a full chill synth album or something called Bay Leaf and Sugar. So it's been
No, it's
decided
funny.
on
I
the
do.
show.
I'm
Look,
sitting.
I heard
I'm
there was
actually
somebody named
sitting on a full
Windows.
chill synth album.
Oh,
Exactly.
wow.
Actually sitting
yeah.
on one. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
didn't release it because for me, like mixing and mastering does like mess me up a lot where I'm like, oh, I want to go really washed out on this. Like this album originally was really washed out in reverb.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I gotta make it like happy middle ground because I think that's going too far for a lot of my fans. They'd probably be like, why does
Right.
it sound like this? The vaporwave community
love
are probably
it.
like, okay, this is cool.
I think we can all agree that it was also because you didn't want to put it too close to the Windows album. I
Yeah,
mean, we understand.
right.
It's fine.
Definitely.
I totally get it.
Yeah,
Right.
all
I
of it
totally
was
get
sounding
it.
like track 3,
Right.
and I was like,
After he heard track 3, he was like, no, I'm shelving this for a year. I can't.
yeah.
I don't wanna-
I'm stealing that, by the way. I'm like, anytime anyone asks me about their album, I'm from now on, that's the first thing
Track
I'm always
3,
going to say
right.
now. Track 3 was really good.
Track 3. Hey, Michael, you got to do sometime in the future. There's got to be a track called Track 3. And
Track
it's got to
3.
be like Track 8.
Dedicate to Warren.
It's got to be like
Feature
Track 8
Warren
or
on it.
something. Right.
Yeah, right. Track 8 is Track 3.
Yeah, you got to have a song called featuring Woren, but he's not on the track, but it's just called that, right? Just to mess
I'm
with
never even there.
All right, well, I'm glad we have your whole next album planned out on the show.
He's
so,
got like an excerpt from the show of me just going, hey, like that, and that's all it is.
Well, it's funny because with the chill synth thing, I'm sitting on this full album, but I can't, like, I'm not going to release it yet because I do want to bunker down and make a proper follow up to Sentimental that's a little more like, faster paced synthwave stuff.
Yeah.
But after that, I'll start pumping out like a lot of the other stuff I've been sitting on. So
Cool. Yeah, I like when artists do stuff like where they have like a sound that was very popular, right? And they do go back to that and they do make that, but they also throw in other stuff. Like an EP here or there, that kind of stuff. So I
Totally.
really appreciate that. So I'm looking forward to
well,
that.
I kind of have to too because like I've said this before, but I have all these collabs I've been lining up that
Yep.
from like generally if I work with other artists, I'm like, sure, I'll scratch your back, but you're gonna scratch mine down the road. So I have a lot of really awesome features from really big artists coming out on this next one.
Yep.
But I actually have to give them some material to work with. So
Don't ruin it. Don't tell them.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna tell them. I'm not gonna tell
Yeah,
them, but
they can't know. They
y'all
can't
be
know it's
stoked.
all Windows collabs.
Right.
I'll tell you this. I'm working on pulling Laserhawk out of retirement, but
Good.
we'll see how that
There we
goes.
go.
Do it.
Yeah, you gotta prop them up, dust them off.
Yeah.
Yeah. My birthday is in April, so have it happen by then. Okay. I appreciate that.
Okay, we'll try. We'll try.
Just for you.
Right. Just for me. I know you're going to get off and be like, man, I feel a new
That's gonna be
motivation.
the name of the album is going to be Just for Dave.
Well, the crazy thing, and I just learned this because like I'm such a boomer with actually doing stuff properly. It's like, man, you have to like actually get your album ready 2 months in advance for
Oh, God,
like
I know.
Spotify now and stuff. What
It's
the
awful.
fuck is
It's
this?
awful.
Like, yeah, part of
Yeah,
my
it's not
crunching.
fair.
Yeah.
But hey,
Well, I mean, if
we're at-
anybody's going to speak French, it's you. You're over in Canada, right? You have an
Yes.
excuse.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Thank you.
Totally
Yeah,
fine.
It's my second language, so.
Right, there you go. No, your second language is sound, right? Or some like elite thing like that. Like it's synths. That's my second
I make
language.
sounds for the poor.
Right, sound for poorers. But hey, it's half past.
For the poorest.
It's half past the hour, so we got to move on to our next block here. And then we'll come back and chat a little bit more if that's okay with everyone.
Excellent.
Okay, so anyways, this first one up in this next block is the newest one by Von Kaiser called Xenomorph, and we'll see everybody in about 12 minutes.
You crawled inside of me like a parasite, left my heart frozen in cold starlight. No one can hear you scream in space. You were never mine, just a lie, like an acid kiss in the dead of night. No one can hear you scream in space. I can hide it in the shadows, like an animal that knows what it wants. I can hide it in the shadows, like a parasite that knows what it wants. Now I see you clearly through infrared eyes. A predator dressed in lies. No one can hear you scream in space. Like an alien hiding in the shadows, like an animal that knows what it wants. Like an alien hiding in the shadows, like a parasite that knows what it wants. Tie me up in a vicious lie, an alien cocoon for life. Store me away for later use, but I won't stand for the abuse. You made me your nest, and then you fled, but I'll burn this ship before I'm left for dead, 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 dead. Like an alien hiding in the shadows, like an animal that knows what it wants. Like an alien hiding in the shadows, like a parasite that knows what it wants. Like an alien hiding
And we're back. And I swear I cleared my throat like many times, and every time when I come back on, it's just like so yeah, I was thinking that there was a
back, hello.
There was a dad joke you missed, by the way, Dom. I was thinking when Michael was saying he's been sitting on this Chillwave album for a long time. It totally flew over you. You know, you could have said something like, "Oh, that must have been painful," or something.
Dude, I have to refrain a lot of times from saying weird, like, because like I never know what's gonna
boys,
like, you know,
Bazinga.
Right,
yeah, right. I love dad jokes. Yeah.
Yes, and they have to be awful though. I mean, it's got to be like, you know, even dads are like, "Geez," you know, like, "Oh my god."
Dude, I'm constantly waiting for one of my kids to stub their toe so I can be like, "Call a tow truck."
Oh my god. All right. You're edging closer to that exit, my friend.
I'll see myself out.
Oh man, so yeah, that I mean, I liked every song in that last block. These are all new, but I mean, when I heard that Phaserland was releasing like a mini kind of Halloween themed sort of, you know, EP, I was like very excited, and it's of course excellent, like all of his stuff. So big shout out to him.
He delivers.
He does. He does, like, annoyingly.
Absolute gem.
Right?
Absolute gem of a human. Yeah.
There's some people like him where, like, every time he releases something, you're like, God damn it, it's going to be totally awesome every time. So, anyways.
Sorry, my kids are going wild right now. I had to wait a moment. I had to calm them down.
That's the bingo. That's one thing we always joke about on the show is the Synthwave Hangout bingo card. The same things that happen every show. One of them is Dom yelling at his kids or dogs. So
cross it off. Cross it off.
Right, you could cross it off. I'm sure we've already.
Oh yeah. We'll inevitably hit upon at least one of the bingos.
Right. Oh yeah, I'm sure we already have like 10 times over. It's like you have to talk about next how you have so many unfinished tracks and everyone will be a winner. So, anyways, so we have the next up are the block-wise. We are the Miami Nights blocks, which I assume people are here, you know, to hear and everything like that. So we'll have to talk about those, right? Right. I assume everybody went through.
You sound nervous.
Who, me?
It's happening.
You nervous, huh?
Me?
Yeah, you better be.
Oh,
he's always
with the
nervous.
goat.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
he gets
I'm
very
not
nervous.
nervous.
He's literally trembling probably right now.
I'll tell you what, whenever we have a new guest on, you know, before we do the pre-show kind of like thing, I am a little nervous because I don't know them, you know what I mean? But I gotta be honest, after talking with you yesterday, I was like, oh man, Michael's gonna fit in just fine to this weird dynamic.
Excellent. Thank you.
This is probably one of the few shows where I've been totally comfortable before getting on the air, just after chatting
That's
it up
awesome,
last
man.
night.
We really enjoy doing this. This is like because it's like like we said yesterday. This is pretty much exactly what a phone call is between Dave and I.
Right.
We're just if
In
we
case
add another
anyone's
person.
wondering right now, we're all in the same room. I got 2 fully loaded pistols up to their heads.
Right.
Yeah,
keep telling them how
I
good
love
you guys
everything
feel.
he does.
Right.
Do not just buy everybody buy the album.
Right, buy the album now. And you just hear like
Please buy the
clicking.
album.
You're like, that clicking is nothing. Keep talking about the
Yeah,
album.
no.
That's right.
He's
Right.
great. He's great.
You guys
I don't know
aren't
why he
nervous
keeps
at all.
stroking my leg while pointing it at me. And I don't know where the third arm came from, but it's fine.
Jesus. That's right. We got someone in the chat here. Oh, never mind. Sorry, I thought somebody was asking you a question. So as far as I think we should discuss something sort of real at some point during this show.
I mean, what is real, right?
Right,
You know?
right. But
I mean, perception is reality. We could all, like, right now, all of us that are listening or whatever, we could just be like in a room, like a padded room talking to ourselves.
Right.
This is awesome. Yeah, Warren. Keep
I
going
think
with this.
therefore
You're
I
getting
am.
deep. I like it.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah, let's get real, deep into that.
Right. This is a part where I just am silent and I'm like, go on.
He's like, okay, so my next song's about donuts, and you're like, oh.
That's right. So we have these songs coming up in this block, and it's from several albums. The remixes were awesome, by the way. I somehow have missed these in my knowledge. I know. I should have. I was going to hit you up earlier and beg for forgiveness, but I figured I
it looks
didn't
like
want
it's
to wake
going to
you
be
up.
me and Miami Nights hosting the show from now on.
Oh, my own reverse joke. Oh, man,
That's right.
it finally happened.
You're out. You're out.
No,
Third
I
wheel,
feel like a lot of
third wheel
people slept
podcast.
on the.
Don't worry.
Warren, stop. I feel like a lot of people.
I love you. I'm sorry.
I feel like a lot of people slept on the Diamond Cafe remix.
Yeah.
And then, like, it's interesting to me too because I saw a couple comments. Of course, whenever you remix someone, a lot of people like on their side of the fence are going to be like, oh, the original this and this one sounds like this. But it's weird because they were like, oh, this sounds like a modern pop remix of your music. And it's like, what?
Oh, I don't think that. I didn't think that at all. When I was listening to
it was really weird to see that, but no, it's like when I posted it originally, I'm like, oh, people are gonna go crazy over this, and then it was like my fans like, I don't know, maybe the reach, maybe I should have paid all these big corporations to get more reach on my own stuff to my own fans. Maybe it didn't hit them, I don't know,
boost.
But we'll see what people think when they hear this.
Yeah, it's and this is from that movie, right? Am I correct on that? It's a remix of the song from The Girl That Didn't Flinch, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so the director, Cameron, shout outs, he was actually the one who was like, oh, like, I want you to remix this Diamond Cafe song. I'll pay for the full thing and all that stuff. And funny enough, like, if people haven't heard of Diamond Cafe, check out Tristan. They're from the same island that I am, funny enough, but extremely talented. Like, we are talking reincarnation of Prince. And I mean, it's rare I come across someone that I'm absolutely blown away with, but this guy is just like anything. I can't say enough good things about him. Like, incredible guitarist, singer, all that stuff. Like, he writes everything himself, and then when he performs live, he brings a band on. But like,
yeah,
dude has chops. He's got chops.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was searching for this song. Like, one thing that's important to me for this show that I'll mention now and then is I always buy all the music we play, right, to support the artist. And this song wasn't on Bandcamp anywhere that I could find. You know, the Diamond Cafe one. So I had to grab it from Amazon Music, which was weird. But yeah, I don't know if they're ever planning on putting it up on Bandcamp, but this song is excellent. I think when people hear it, they're going to be like, where can I get this? So I don't know if that's, I mean, it's an older track now anyway, so I don't know if that's ever going to be in the future plans, but
I couldn't tell you. I guess that's probably up to Cameron and how he wants to. It's weird he didn't put it on the vinyl or the soundtrack release.
I assumed it would have been on the soundtrack, which is on there, but it wasn't, obviously. So
yeah, it's weird. Maybe it had something to do with Tristan's management. Like he's big leagues now. Like he's with Sony or something like that. So,
okay, yeah, that makes stuff more complicated.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so no idea, but hopefully people like it. Yeah. By the way, I saw someone in the chat asking about me inventing the genre of synthwave or something like that. Just to be clear, I wasn't the one who coined the term synthwave. That was ComTrue's. I will fight anyone in the chat who wants to argue that with me. But I did coin the term outrun. That was me and Palm Highway Chase. So
right, that's the claim to fame, the outrun thing. Yeah. And I was trying to fact check that claim, by the way, and I noticed that you're not on the outrun playlists, the big one on Spotify.
Yeah, we were talking about that. It's kind of funny they removed me off that playlist when it's like, okay, you're using the term outrun here, but all right, okay.
Right.
I was gonna say so it's Michael's fault.
right.
Yeah.
They're like, the bass isn't rolling enough for us. If you could just maybe try harder next time, I'd appreciate that.
Yeah. And that's how I became a poor.
Right.
The poor. Yeah, it's music for the poor. We have to remember.
Music for the poor. There you go. Right. So the theme of the show, by the way, Dob, is a poor.
Yeah. That's actually the name of my next album.
Right. A poor. Okay. Hey, so we're almost at 11. Do you want to move on to this next the Miami Nights first block, and then we can go back and chat it up a bit after? What do you guys think?
However you guys want to roll. I'm easy.
I'm down.
All right, cool. Yeah, the first one up is an absolute classic, and then the remix is second for everyone who hasn't heard it to definitely pay attention to. But this first one up is Sentimental.
Let's go.
And we're back. And I have to say one thing that I can't believe I never thought about this before. So this new album, it's a totally different experience in headphones, especially good headphones, with the flanging and all that stuff. It sounds amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it does.
Right. You're like, I know, go buy it. No, I just mean like I'm used to listening. I listen to a lot of music on my studio monitors, because I'm doing stuff on the computer or whatever. And I don't typically wear like, giant headphones around, like, that kind of thing. So, but yeah, no, very different experience in the best way. So
well, I really appreciate that. It's funny, like a lot of people reached out to me afterwards asking, I'm sorry I have to clear my throat so much, it's just a little congested.
I'm there with you
right now.
I'm there with
One
you.
second here.
I'm very intimidating, I understand.
right.
Yeah. The clearing of my throat isn't a cue at all for you guys to flatter me.
Right. It's you're clearing your throat, and we're like, isn't he beautiful? I mean, have you seen his photos?
You put it back up. I love everything you make. You're amazing.
Right, there you go.
But no, I had a lot of people reaching out to me about just how I was getting it to sound that way and stuff, and it was really cool because I was kind of, I think for a lot of producers, it's that end process where you're like, does it sound good enough to hit that release button yet? And I'm constantly running up and down the stairs, testing it in my car, testing it in the studio, and taking notes every time.
Yep.
And finally I got sick of getting my cardio that way, and I was like, you know what? My legs can only take so much. I'm hitting release. So, it's cool to hear the feedback that people have been stoked on that. So, thank you.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dom.
You're touching on a point that I often make in conversations with other musicians, which is it's very tough to know when to be done with something. And then because I don't know if you may not be like this, but I am like this. Like once I've worked on a track long enough, by the time I release it, I kind of hate it.
Right. And I think a lot of people are like that.
Yeah, like I'm tired of listening to it.
You're done with it. You're done with it.
And then like a year or something later, I'll go back and listen, and I'm like, okay, I can appreciate it later.
I like it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're listening to something over and over again, and I get into this as well, where I listen to it in my studio and it sounds great, and then I listen to it in my car and it sounds like, I've invented a new sound that like kills puppies or something like that. I'm like, what happened?
You're like,
what happened?
Yeah, you hear things and you also
worst.
start to hear things, you know what I mean? Like that are not actually there. And that's where you got to have it's good to have friends that you can send things to. That's another point I was going to make.
Hey, have you guys ever had it where you're actually hearing like phantom synths and stuff like that?
Yes.
All the time.
That is the funniest thing to me when you're in the studio. Like, yeah.
I'll hear like my wife's voice or something out of nowhere, and I know she's not home, and I'm like, okay, what the hell?
Yeah,
that's called psychosis.
So weird. It's one of those weird things where you've got the audio blasting in your ears for so long that your brain wants to hear something different. So I feel like maybe that's what's going on. It's just starting to create something like.
There's a solo on one of my songs that I think started with like going into the run up, but I thought it like went down and then up, and it didn't. It just did in my head. You know what I mean? And then when I listen to it, it's like, oh, okay. But whatever, no one knows.
Was there. Yeah.
Nobody knows. But for me, I'm
the
like,
worst
oh,
is
damn.
when you've been dealing with like flange and phasers, and then you take off the headphones or whatever, and you walk out of the room, and then you'll still hear like.
Yeah,
right.
Totally.
Right, your whole reality is just blown by like making music.
Kids are trying to talk to me, and I'm like, get away from me.
Everybody becomes Greek statues. And they're like, do you know the guy who invented that? And you're like, I do. I met him the other day.
Go away, Daddy's making a bass line.
Right. Oh, my God. Okay, we're at 11:13 for me anyways. Let's move on to the next block so we have enough time to like fit stuff in, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah, sure.
Is there anything you want to say about the Wolf Club remix before we go in?
Yeah. So, I mean, Wolf Club hit me up to do a remix, and the rest is magic. No, I heard the track, and I was like, okay, this is really cool.
Did you tell them about the standard fee?
Right.
I did. I do that with everyone.
Right. A million compliments.
I just love that. I love that as a defense. It's so good. I love it.
It's just a test. Also, you're like, it's like $5,000. They're like, I can do that. And you're like, it was free. That was just a test.
They're super
You're like,
talented
"Oh, crap, I
guys,
didn't expect
and the vocalist they work with too. She's fantastic. And when I heard the track, I'm like, okay, I think I could take a totally different approach to this. And I think everyone was pretty pumped with the final output of this. And I mean, I think it's been a really successful remix for them too, which is, I'm sure they're happy their money went a long way. So.
Right.
But no,
I actually have a quick question before we jump real fast.
Yeah.
I wanted to know, because like I'm always curious when I ask people this question. I'll ask the second question when we come back, but the first one is, do you find it difficult sometimes, like even if you like a track and you go to work on it, and if it's something that you have intention in your head going into it, that like it kind of puts like a block almost when you go to work on it, like it's hard to find the vibe because you're already thinking of something ahead of time?
I mean, it's a difficult one to answer. I'd say more so for me, what can sort of ruin the experience is more thinking about what the customer wants from me.
Right.
And constantly being in my head of, oh, is this going to be Miami Nights enough for them?
Okay.
Yeah.
Which I want to give a real special shout out to New Arcades, because I did a batshit crazy remix for them, and they went with it, which and I know it wasn't
that
like,
was in your heart at the time, right? So I
it
mean,
was.
I think
I
it's
really
important.
wanted to do like a like Japanese city pop kind of deal with the
I
track.
love city pop, by the way. I love city pop.
You got to check that out.
Me too. And so I made a track that doesn't sound anything normally like my normal stuff, and they were cool with it, and it's one of those things where they're paying money, but they took the risk, and they were kind of hinting they wanted originally something like the Wolf Club remix, but I was like, no.
You're like, nah. You
I'm not
get
just gonna
city
do
pop.
the same remix, but they went with it
I think
anyways.
it's
So
important to do that kind of stuff, though. Like, it's important to write what you're feeling is the right thing for you at the time. Like, because like when you try to force something, it's really tough. you
Yeah.
know?
totally. And I think just with the way their vocal was, it was hard for me to go into that. And like, because they had this really more, it's hard to describe, kind of like Britpop sounding vocal to me. So I was like, well, if we're going to go kind of poppy with this, why not take it to like a different part of the world kind of pop and do a little twist on it that way. And I don't think it was a super popular track for them as far as my remix goes, but either way, they took the risk with me, and I appreciate that. So they're always an artist that I'm happy to work with again, just because it's like if people are easygoing with me, I really respect that and appreciate that. So I mean, much respect to those guys.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I can only imagine doing a remix and dealing with like a really difficult person. I mean, that is...
Well, I definitely had it where they're like, this doesn't sound like Miami Nights. And it's like...
Right.
Well, guess what? Miami Nights made it for you.
Right. I was like, I am Miami Nights. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Dave just made the most ultra inside joke stealthily, and I love it.
But, no, that is funny, though. They're like, could Miami Nights write this? And you're like, what do I do? Right? I literally am Miami Nights.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, let's go to this next block, and we can hear this one along with some other classics. I'm really glad, by the way. The first song we're going to play is "Decelerated." I'm really glad you picked that song. I love that song on that album. So,
thanks, man.
That's a great
I thought
one.
it'd be a cool twist instead of just playing the usual accelerated track. So,
yeah, I'm always curious when we have somebody on if they're going to pick like my favorite tracks or if it's going to be their favorite tracks or what. Like where do we match up? Like that kind of a thing. So this is definitely one of them. And I'm sure I'm not the only person that's ever told you this, right? That Decelerate's a good song. But I love it.
Honestly, I don't know if it's gotten a whole lot of attention, which was kind of why I was like, I picked tracks that I was kind of like, well, besides Golden Hour, that I was like, maybe this will bring some more attention to this one kind of deal. Like, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you did. So, and that's
Thank
up
you.
first.
Thank you.
So we can get right
Awesome.
into it. All right, so we'll talk to everybody in a little bit.
Okay, bye.
And we're back. And that is the perfect song for the end of an album, by the way.
Thank you.
The fact that it, I mean, like I was saying in the chat, you know, you got the kind of, what do you call them, glistening arps or whatever, you know, in the background. It's got that very, like I'm riding in a car and I've got a tough case to solve vibe to it. You know, like that kind of a thing. But
yeah, it was one of those things where it was like, I wasn't like purposely watching Black Rain or anything like that, but after I wrote it, I was like, man, it just makes me think about that movie so much. Like,
no, it's funny how stuff like that works. Like I don't know if you do this or not, but I'll often have like names for songs, right? And I'll be like, this is it. And then I'm listening to it after and I'll like change it kind of at the last second because I'm like, it's just not giving me that energy anymore. Like I don't really do working titles or anything. Like I feel like I've got it right away. Like I'm very confident. And then I'm like, nah. Like near the end. That's
interesting because I'm the complete opposite. Like my stuff is all like Synthwave 1, Synthwave 2, Synthwave 3, or Business Wave this, Business Wave that. And then at the end, I'm like just going over all the tracks, trying to like, you know, I burn some incense, have a glass of whiskey, and I'm like, oh yes, no, this one's definitely Black Rain.
Right.
It's so funny, dude, because like I'm the opposite of both of you. When I name a track right off the rip, that's usually what the track is named.
Oh, nice.
Picture Woren just sitting on the toilet scrolling through his music. Like, maybe I'll name this.
Right, let's do this one this week.
Track 3.
Right.
Publish.
This one's the fart song.
Right. You're right. Track 3 V2. Right. Just publish.
Track 3 V4.
It is funny though, like painting a picture to your music because, like Limousine on that album, which is another like personal favorite of mine, but it's like, you know, it's pretty chilled out. I don't really do any like solos or anything like that on it. Just the low guitar lick I play on it. But I was like, okay, like mentally, I kind of picture somebody originally like just catching like a late night cab kind of thing after work.
Right.
Cruising kind of like, you know, the empty streets and stuff like that. But I was also like, but it also gives me like kind of a copy feel too, like Law and Order. And then
absolutely.
I have a friend who is listening to it at her work, and she's not typically like a synthwave kind of person or anything like that, but she was messaging me just talking about the album. She's like, this track totally reminds me of like Law and Order for some reason. I'm like, oh, that's
like
so
me
funny.
too. We should be friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird the imagery that it conjures up for people. I feel like this should be figured out. You know, the thing I've always said about synthwave, which is funny, is like it makes sense if you were alive in the 80s like I was, right? But you know, there's younger people that were born in like the 2000s who have this kind of fake nostalgia for a time they didn't live in, you know. And there's something about like that sound and like this album specifically. I would absolutely have that same effect, I think, on them. Like they're envisioning some like 70s cop car or detective's car in New York or something, and they're like, "Where's that? Like, did you just watch, you know, a movie, or like, where is this coming from?" But for some reason, it like has this shared experience between a lot of people. I found just fascinating.
Yeah. They live that feeling somehow. You know what I mean? And that's an interesting thing.
Right.
I mean, it's a vibe, really. I mean, really, if you can just find the vibe, right? You know, like it's I think just some people gravitate towards a sound, you know, when they're doing something. And then, you know, sometimes you find yourself in an odd place.
Yeah. Yeah. You never know.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I think it's like really interesting, like the younger people than us that listen to this, especially for that kind of thing, because it's like they definitely have a fantasy of what the 80s you know, meant, and it's nothing compared to our lived experience. Like, let's face it, like even for us, we didn't really fully get to experience the 80s. I mean, we grew up through it, and it was a great time as a child. But I mean, you probably have to be a bit older to really get it.
Yeah, my joke is always that, you know, the synthwave aesthetic for the 80s does not match the wood panel walls and TV on the floor reality of the 80s.
For sure. Yeah, it was definitely it definitely felt more like what people associate to the 70s for good reason.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of drab, like dull colors.
Right, orange and brown, like that you know, it holdover a little bit from the late 70s, you know, that kind of went away. The 90s, you know, just exterminated that, you know, with the vibrant colors and everything. But yeah,
the 90s is probably closer to what
the 80s. That was a different experience. The malls in the 80s probably gave people what they were actually looking for with that aesthetic. But
Yeah. Oh, I have phenomenal memories of that kind of stuff. And you're right. You're absolutely right. Like, even if you had, like, outside of cinemas and in cinemas and stuff like that, they also had more of that vibe of what I think the synthwave aesthetic is. A lot of neon lights, mirrors, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Frozen yogurt stands.
Yes.
They nailed it.
Yes, absolutely.
What a health concern that turned out to be.
Right. Hey,
Froyo.
and you got another EP track title there too. Frozen yogurt stands. What a health.
Ooh.
There you go for your Mall Wave album that you can release now.
That's right.
All Windows collabs. It's insane how many songs we have.
Right. I'm glad I heard that joke for the first time too, because I
am
enjoying
actually
it.
seriously working on a new wave. I'm not going to drop the name of it yet, but after this next album, I might either drop the chill synth album or this next kind of wave. Wouldn't
it just be amazing if you got like really proud of yourself and announced that you're like, all right, guys, dark wave, right? And everyone is like, cool. Good job.
We've never heard that before.
Yeah.
Trying to be all nice and everything.
Like, check this out. I'm making grunge.
Right. It's like rock, but like a little bit more grungy.
Grunge wave, man. Grunge wave.
No, I was gonna say that one joke I was surprised Dave didn't make was after we played your music, he was like, "You should do this like full time."
Oh yeah, that's a bingo classic. Yeah,
that's a bingo classic.
Whenever I talk to somebody that is a successful artist or whatever, I always try to make that funny joke, but I didn't want to injure anybody by them laughing too hard.
Thank you for that.
I don't want to hurt
I've
their
already been choking up through this.
So. Right. He's already here early and he's not feeling well and everything. I didn't want to affect his health anymore by my hilarious jokes.
Dream Pocket has us nailed, eh? He's bringing up the arcade. Yeah. I guess we didn't think of that one. That definitely had the aesthetic.
Oh yeah, of course.
I will say the arcade in my hometown, it was pretty grungy. It wasn't quite that neon aesthetic.
Right.
It was like people smoking in there and stuff. And
yeah.
There's more like Terminator
cool.
2.
Yeah, a lot of right. The arcade, right. My arcade as a kid. Yeah, it was just like a heavy smoke atmosphere with like a bunch of little kids like breathing deeply, playing video games.
Yeah.
But
it was a health hazard.
It's already 11:40 here. We got 20 minutes left of the show. We got another block to fit in, and then we can come back and say our goodbyes, if that's okay with everybody.
Yep. No other questions for me?
Not right now, but
save it for the end.
We'll save it for the end.
What's your favorite color?
No, that was our ending question.
Such a tough one. I remember, people who say that right off the bat, they're liars. Because there's so many lovely colors out there,
There really are, yeah.
What if somebody was like light blue and you're like, man, there's so many colors, and then you see them and it's like literally everything is light blue, like everything, even their face, and they're like, I love it. It's my favorite.
Well, we know what their favorite song would be.
What? Blue?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was so on that I had to ask about it.
I thought you would appreciate that.
I did appreciate it. And then
we appreciate it.
I jumped.
Right? You love it.
I love it.
You love every part of it.
I love it.
Please.
I love it.
Please buy the album.
That's right.
His album's
That's right.
That clicking is nothing.
Don't worry about it. Stop it.
Good answer, gentlemen.
Stop messing with
You'll live through this next block of songs.
Right.
That's right. Maybe.
What was that, Tom?
The next block is in tribute to the greatest ever.
Oh, that's so funny you said that, because you're in this next block, Tom. By the way.
Oh no!
Oh, what?
Oh no! Well, all right. Well,
Track
I gotta go, guys.
Better be played.
Yeah.
It better be. He better like it. Otherwise, I'm gone.
No. Michael's like, don't worry. I'm not even listening to it. So all right. So
track 3.
Yep.
Track 3. Let's do this.
All right. Here we go. And then we'll come back and we'll say our little goodbyes and everything. And we'll be back right after this. And we're back. If anyone is still able to hear after that last track,
What?
it was a little bit louder than the other tracks. So yeah,
That joke's never going to get old.
What?
Atlas is the man, though. Honestly, Atlas is amazing. I love it.
yeah, for sure.
Impression and limiting skills are through the roof. Literally.
Right. Yeah, I'm just watching it on my end on OBS, and it's just solid red. Even though I've got like
Dude,
a bunch of
red line or go home, baby.
I've got like a a lot of protections on and limiting and things to make it not fuzz out and everything. And there were all these plugins were just like, nah. They just all went home.
Once again, red line or go home, baby. You're not doing it right.
Right.
I love all the sonic sounds, so that was great.
Yeah. The ring sound is very appealing. When that came in, I was like,
The Sonic one.
Yeah. In that track, it's got
Yeah,
the ring sounds. And then
Atlas is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like I want to hear a sonic ring sound and then the loudest sax I've ever heard in my life, just squawking and everything.
Michael, if you wanna have a good laugh and have a good time, go add him on Instagram or check out his Instagram, because Atlas's Instagram is unhinged and it's awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's really
cool.
fun. It's really fun.
It's really fun. I love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a really fun guy.
So we're at the end of the show, unfortunately. Did this feel fast to you, Michael, or is this like the slowest time of your life? Or these last 2 hours? It was totally
That's what I'm saying.
torturous.
Torture, right? That's exactly what I was thinking.
No, I had
These
a great
guns-
time.
these
I'm
guns have
surprised
been
it's
pointing
over
at
so
our head.
quickly. It's like I can return to bed and
Yeah.
catch back up on my Z's after drinking 2 cups of coffee. It's gonna be great.
Right. You wake up and you're like, thank God it was all just a dream. God.
He's just laying there, his heart's pounding, sweating.
Just hearing that sax crackle in your ears.
Good thing only like 20 people are going to hear this. It's fine.
Yeah, right. Well, so I realized we haven't really promoted Cosmopolis that much. Well, I guess we played the songs, we talked about it a bunch, but it definitely, it's an excellent album. If you love this kind of, you were calling it business wave. I've always called it office wave. I don't know if that's accurate. I don't know if it matters. There's so many different names that we have for things.
I wanted to be different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
the snowflake.
Okay. Right. It's business wave.
Right?
It's business wave.
That's right.
We need to get if we ever
It is the best.
if you're ever willing to
made
come
it.
back on for this, we need to have a sound effect of like a gun hammer clicking.
Yeah.
Business wave, sir. Thank you. But so yeah, that's available. I've dropped the link.
So also with that said, I just want to let everyone know I will be doing a Bandcamp listening party on Wednesday. If any of the lovely audience here wants to join, I'll be live in the chat and gonna be answering questions, gonna be hanging out afterwards and having a good time with y'all. It's a fun personal experience. Like the last one I did for Gunblaze Assault was a ton of fun, and got to meet a bunch of lovely people. So if anybody's interested in that, that will be happening Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific time.
And I am about to drop that link in the chat right now. And one thing I like about you is I was literally going to bring that up as the very next question. I hear you have a listening
like that
party
about
come
you.
up because I had the link. I had the link already copied, ready to go. So excellent, mind connection there, I guess.
Love that.
But we have one more song that we're going to end the show with in a minute. But Michael, I want to thank you for coming on. I hope there were good vibes for you on this show. And I had a great time with
you guys. It was a ton of fun for sure. So thanks so much for having me. Big shout out to the chat. Thank you so much for joining us and having a good time with all of us. It's lovely to see all of you people here.
Yeah, and if you like vinyl like me, definitely picked up the new album on vinyl that's available through RetroSynth, also on CD and cassette as well, right? It's on everything.
Our
it's
lives
on everything.
depend on it.
It's been so cool seeing people buy the bundle. That just blows my mind. It's like, okay, awesome. Like, thank you so much, everyone, for the support. It really does mean the world to me, and it really means a lot to all the artists right now, getting as much support as they can, because it feels like the industry is doing everything they can to hold us down, but we won't be held down.
Yep.
No, we will not.
The Poors will unite.
The Poors will unite.
That's right. We will work. The Poors will make it happen.
And as always, I wanted to thank everybody for coming out. And I know I just cut Dom off from saying something very similar,
okay.
but you guys make this show worthwhile every week. And I always say this, it is an excellent time for me to just disconnect from all the pressures and problems in life and hang out with some really amazing people and fun people in the chat, listen to some great music. And I from the deepest part of my heart, appreciate everybody here.
And I'm gonna say my normal thing, which is, just remember to be kind to each other. It doesn't take much effort, and it makes somebody's day a little bit better.
Absolutely.
And jam the tunes, enjoy your weekend, your weekend. Now I forget, we get to say that, don't we? We get to say weekend.
Enjoy your weekend. Yeah, we're used to being.
Yeah, enjoy your weekend.
So, So, and Michael, you're always welcome back on if you want to promote something else or pop in for 2 seconds and be like, buy my album, and then hang up, or you can do whatever you want. Just hit me up if you're.
Yeah, appreciate that. Hopefully, I
pop in the studio with the
caught
guns
up on my sleep by the next release.
Yeah, right. So we got
Future Past Radio. We saw your comment. We got something coming for you.
That's right.
What was I going to say? One more thing. So we're going to play one more song. Don't unmute your mic though, because you're still going to be coming through.
Don't unmute it?
Yeah, no. I mean, sorry, mute it during the last song,
okay.
and then I'll tell you when the stream is over. So sorry.
Yeah. Our brains are usually fried by the end of the show.
Right, by the end of the show, it's like lunchtime here for everybody, and we're just like rocking back and forth in the chair. It's like,
right.
No,
I have my security blanket on right now.
Right. Dom puts the security blanket on like 10 minutes before the end of the show. So, all right, everybody, I appreciate you all, and we will see everybody next week. Later, everyone.
Much love.
Later.